Hello, my name's Fox. So again, I'm Fox. Is something wrong with me? Well, there is, but there's a lot of things wrong with me. But is there something really wrong with me? Because here's the thing. And I mean this in a full respect. Okay. The Venom movies, I love. Those are probably my favorite superhero movies, not including the Spider-Verse movies. Those fucking... I will be freaking amazed if there's ever a movie series that could beat the Spider-Verse movies. I'm going to 100% say that right now. But live-action superhero movies, the Venom movies are my favorite. They're fun. They're fun. They're just cool, and like they have a really good feel to them. At least for me, they do. I feel like those are just straight fun superhero movies. And like I'll say this too about like certain things. Morbius, like I'm right now. That is a low movie. I enjoy that movie. I love the ideas in that movie, which is something I can say about a lot of these Sonyverse movies. Is I can love the ideas in these movies. The Morbius movies, I love those ideas of, the vampire-like abilities, whether it be flight, like the flying abilities, or just a vampiric what kind of superhero? Anti-hero kind of thing? I like that shit. That's kind of cool. We haven't really had that many vampire characters, and plus, the idea that this character will, at some point, go crazy to drink blood all the time, like, it sets up him becoming the villain that he will be, and he's supposed to be for fighting Spider-Man. Then you have something like Madam Web, which there's a cool thing that's been happening with the Sonyverse movies. I don't really know if Morbius kind of had it. But both Venom, this one, and Kraven all have this setup. And hold on, because this isn't in the movie. Hold on. Oh, here, this is it.
Waiting in the darkness for the rescuer who never comes.
That right there. That is the best superhero, like, freaking imagery ever. I legit think, because, again, just listening to this, because, again, this is a world without Spider-Man. And I'm going to get to Kraven in a minute, but this is a world without Spider-Man. And I can gush about this. I gush about this trailer a lot, because I really love this trailer. But I like this. Waiting in the darkness for the rescuer who never comes.
For the rescuer who never comes.
And then smashing a spider. That is the best imagery of saying, this is a world without Spider-Man. This is a world without Spider-Man. This is a world without a hero. And that this world will need heroes, or something along those lines. That is probably the best superhero imagery ever. That is, like, these movies all have that Spider-Man build-up, I guess. Like, it's the idea that there's that build-up of something more coming. Or there's something of, like, something interesting. Like, again, even Madam Web, that movie, again, very flawed. They needed a better actress for this role. Like, they really, really, really did. The script itself, not the greatest, but if you had a good enough actress to carry the entire film, I honestly think that film would reach a point of, like, Venom level. Of, like, maybe on paper it doesn't seem like it's good, but if you have someone who, like, Tom Hardy in the role, not as Madam Web, but you get what I mean, as that main character that can carry the film, it can honestly be pretty good. And like they're in Madam Web, there was that image. There's multiple different imageries where they're down to be the spider people in the Amazon who like wear red like lining over their faces, to where when Madam Web's mom gets bit by the spider, that like gives like that eventually gives her like the connection to the web of life and all this stuff. The spider crawls up onto her chest and bites her, where eventually Peter would have his spider symbol. Like, there's a lot of cool there's a lot of cool imagery for that too, and like that's what I would say is the saving grace of that, and especially with the evil Spider-Man that they fight in that movie. There's a lot of really good imagery with all of that. There's a lot of good imagery with hinting at Spider-Man, as well as showing like what someone with evil spider powers could do. This movie is legitimately just good. And it also still has that slight bit of Spider-Man, like, hinting at. And, like, I want to watch the trailer real quick. I know I've already been talking, 8 minutes, Jesus, about this. But, like, we're going to get into it. But, like, I legit just want you to know, go watch this movie. Go watch. If you like the Venom movies, go watch this movie. This movie has action. This movie has some actually really funny lines. And also, weirdly enough, it has Russell Crowe in it. And somehow both Russell Crowe has been in this and The Mummy, the Dark Universe of The Mummy, and which are both supposed to be both the end of supposedly the end of those universes. So that sucks. But let's just get into this real quick. His hunt starts now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That scene never happens. Was there an after credit scene? I read there wasn't. Does Kraven have a post credit scene? Nope. At the film New York premiere, critics cast who stayed through credits saw a long list of names. Like Curious action movie, but there is no post credit scene with. There's no post credit scene with bonus goodies. Huh? Because this scene isn't in the movie.
My son, never show mercy. They are prey. We are predators. Boys, your mother is dead.
She died because you sent her away.
She was weak, sick in her mind. You know my business, yes?
That's not even where they live.
Power is about strength. If you show weakness, you will give our enemies an opening. Shoot. Shoot.
Nope, that's not. Yeah, okay.
He is weak.
They actually did what they did in the Venom movie, and they reversed the shot there. I just realized that.
Leave him.
What happened that day?
I stared death in the face, and for the first time, I saw my true self.
Next year.
Tell me about this hunter. They say he uses a connection with animals to track his prey. And once you're
That's not in. Wait, is that in the trailer? Is that in the show? I don't think that's in the movie.
on his list,
Because there is it. Because he just looks at the wolf and then he gets on the plane. So they cut that out.
there's only one way off.
And also, they're very hinting at things that aren't that he does not have in the movie.
His prey. And once you're on his list, there's
He does not see through the eyes of that.
only
Okay.
one way off.
There's 6 of us, and only one of you.
There's 6 of you now.
Why do you hunt?
My father puts evil into the world. I take it out.
Think you're some
Villains
kind of
aren't
hunter.
born.
You are exactly like our father. Just another man hunting for a trophy.
God. They're made.
Murderers. Isn't that what he taught us?
You don't get to do that to me anymore.
Again, this scene's never in it. But the spiders coming down, because there's a point where he gets hit with a dart that shows his worst fears, and his worst fears just happens to be spiders. Come on. Like, it's setting it up.
Mr. Taglin? Mr. Taglin? Where's Mr. Taglin?
Oh, you're standing in him.
You're a goddamn lunatic.
Oh, you just figured that out now?
It's White Panther. Kinda is, actually.
Kraven the Hunter is an animal in each one of us.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
Okay, so one, he does not see through the eye. He's not a warg. He does not see through the eyes of different animals. But pretty much like a thing that seems to be also another running theme in this cinematic universe. Actually, wait, hold on. Yeah, because at that point he lowers the gun. It seems to be in the cinematic universe is the merging of humans and animals. Very similarly to, obviously, how Spider-Man gets his powers. Although Spidey gets it through... See, the simple answer, is he gets it through a spider bite. But then you get it to the other answer of, was it because the spider was radioactive? Was it because the spider was genetically altered? Or was it just because it's a magic spider from another time, not another timeline, but a magic spider from the Web of Life that bit Peter and gave him superpowers? Like, and connected to the magical mystical web and all this other shit. Like, it's, like, you would think Spider-Man, like, is, like, so much straightforward because we've seen so many movies, and it's like, it's really not. Apparently not. At least in the comic-wise. Like, anyways. But pretty much, to summarize the movie real quick, I guess. It's already 14 minutes, Jesus. Alright, so Kraven, his brother, his mom kills herself because of mental order, and dad's sending her away to a mental place. Dad takes them to go hunting for this legendary lion, pretty much. This monster of a beast, like, holy shit. This lion, because the dad wants to kill him because he's like, if I kill a legend, I become a legend. They eventually, him and his brother get separated from, and also his brother, Kraven, is like, as a kid, he's actually the one that kills, like makes a hunter kill. He's like the strong one out of the two brothers. It's very Lion King too, actually. Now I'm thinking more about this. Like, and the other brother is quote unquote a bastard son, but still whatever. They get separated from the group. This lion pops up. The son, like, Kraven's about to shoot, but then he lowers the gun, looks the lion in the eye, and they both look at each other. And you see the lion kind of look like he's gonna attack, and then stop. Like, he, like, recognized that he wasn't gonna hurt each other, that they don't want to fight each other. Father shoots the lion bites this guy, drags him off like just some meat. Like, holy shit. It's very like, oh god, nature, yeah. Everyone's like, oh my god! But he gets taken away, but while this is all going on, Calypso, who is, this girl. This girl, when she was younger, was there with her parents on a safari. Her grandma lives out in the savannah, I guess, and she's also like a witch doctor. I'm pretty sure the symbols they use were like voodoo symbols. And she tells her the tarot cards of, like, if I'm remembering correctly, it was the High Priestess, a castle, and then Strength, which is like out of a lion. She has a lion on it. And pretty much the grandma says, here's this magic potion. And a very bad ADR. Ain't gonna lie, there's some bits that aren't great. But still, this bad ADR gives her this potion and says, this potion you're gonna need this. It will protect someone up from death. Eventually, like, she kind of senses something's out there. She leaves, and she actually does find the lion with Kraven. The lion drops it, and it looks like more along the lines he bit Kraven out of instinct / kind of a defense mechanism, I guess. Because eventually it looks down at Kraven like, can you help him? Because holy shit. But also when that happens, he drops a bit of his blood into the young Kraven. Which, this makes it look like it was only that, but it wasn't. When he gets bit and the blood drips down into him,
like his mother, leave him.
What happened that day?
When that blood eventually touches him, and then and then he drank the potion. It seemed to give him the lion's strength, agility, sight to see in the dark, and all this other stuff. Like, it gave him the powers of a lion, pretty much. Super strength, heightened senses, all that stuff. Which, after that, and after he, like, gains this power, his father finds him, like, in the hospital, brings him home, and then he's like, I got a gift for you. And then, like, it's the head of that lion. And, like, Kraven's pissed. He's like, I don't want to be like, and his dad says, like, you're going to stay with me. Your brother's going to go back to New York and study and all this stuff. Because that studying is making you weak. You need to become stronger. He's weak. He can whatever. Kraven's like, no, I'm not doing that. He runs away. He doesn't take his brother with him, which I guess he kind of guessed his brother. I guess you can see this in a couple ways. One, he thinks his brother couldn't handle going out in the wild, especially when he does go out there, because at one point there is a stampede of wildebeests, but it doesn't run him over. Like, the one of the wildebeest stops in front of him to keep him like, I've seen Lion King. I know you can't handle this, Mr. Lion, so I'll make sure to protect you. But it's the idea that nature does respect him, I guess, in that sense. But Kraven eventually, like, goes to, like, where his mom used to own land and makes that his home and also his home base, because from that point on in his life, he chooses, like he says, like, his father puts evil into the world, he takes out that evil. Not so much that his dad is the one starting all this, even though, spoilers, he is the one that starts it. But he hunts down villain. He hunts down, like, different head of criminals, organization, all this stuff. Like, and the opening scene is him breaking into a prison, pretty much, to then kill a guy and then escape. And then escapes using super strength, super speed, like, all this stuff immediately. Which is really funny, because this dude is, like, benching, like, 2 big-ass discs of, like, on, like, the barbell. And these 2 guys, like, he's like, the 2 guys like, this isn't a public thing. He's like, well, it is now. They both, like, put their weight on it, try to, like, crush him under the bar, and then Kramer just goes, boom, and just throws them off, like, kind of picks them up, and kind of moves, you just see go, like, break against the ground, like, oh, shit, alright, he's already strong. But eventually, like, we find out, like, the guy they killed there, the guy he killed there in that prison was actually Calypso's, like, a guy who killed one of Calypso's friends, and pretty much he says, like, I did that to you because I forgot who you were from, like, the tarot card that she gave him, that the potion, and pretty much saying, like, you know, you have a lot of clients, a lot of them aren't good, give me those names so I can go kill them, especially because at one point he hunts down one guy, he finds the ledger. It's where he pins this dude to the wall. It's where he pins this dude to the wall. Like, it's like a ledger with all these bad guy names. One of the bad guys also is the Rhino here. Which, I want to say, the Rhino is actually a really good bad guy. Especially because he's a very much the opposite of Kraven, in a sense. Because, like where Kraven's more like that wild, like, always wants to be out in the wild. And all stuff. Like, at one point, he avoids getting kidnapped from his brother's penthouse, but his brother gets kidnapped because he wanted to because he couldn't sleep inside of, like, the thing, he had to go outside. This guy is very, like, needy and tight with a glass of light. Is he accurate to the comics? No, but also, if you care, like, because I say this with love. Don't expect everything to be a 1-to-1 to the comics. Don't even expect it to be 2-to-1 to the comics. Be okay with different interpretations. That's what I will say on this note. Because, and I will say this, if you don't like it, that's fine. I hate the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. I hate them. Those are the shittiest Spider-Man movies fucking ever. Like, I don't like them. Probably the best one is actually 3. Like, and that's me rewatching. And like, that's not me like, oh, back in the day when I first saw the first Spider-Man movie, I'm like, this is okay. I like it. Saw the second one, I'm like, I fucking hate this movie. This movie sucks ass. I hate this so goddamn much. And then I saw the third one, and I'm like, it's alright. But I rewatched those like a year or two ago, and like, maybe they're different. I did a marathon from Tobey Maguire's first Spider-Man movie all the way to the MCU. Fucking hated all the Tobey Maguire ones. They suck ass. The Andrew Garfield ones, freaking best Spider-Man. Not including the Spider-Verse again. The MCU one of the more ones that I really like because of the world around it, and I want to see him more interact off of it. But yeah. So, anyways, sorry. But yeah, nothing has to be 1-to-1. Enjoy what you like. Enjoy what you don't. If you don't enjoy it, that's fine. I hate those Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies so goddamn much. I want to keep saying that. But I like this interpretation of Rhino. It was really cool because it very much is a difference from Kraven, where Kraven's very rugged looking. He's always almost shirtless. And like, he's very wild out in the woods, where this dude is always seen inside a building, always like surrounded by his men and all that stuff. And he's also always holding back this monster inside him also, which is when he turns into the Rhino. But, oh yeah, here, this is the guy. Kills him, writes his name off the list in the ledger. But, and also his boss is, like, back there, too, which is kind of funny. They had to double up this door, because, like, they would see the arrow sticking out the other end. But this man, but yeah, this is freaking sick. But yeah, like, this guy is really cool. And the thing is, too, like, he is enhanced, but he's also not, he's not, what did I say? He's enhanced, but not to a ridiculous amount. I say that in still a sense, because he does still do ridiculous shit. He does a Captain America, like, hold the helicopter off. But, like, in a sense of, like, because Spider-Man, if you see a car coming at Spider-Man, he probably will jump over it. But if he could stand his ground and just go boom and just tank it. Kraven can't. I really do feel like he is very much a super strong and all this stuff, but he's also not like Superman strength. He's not Spider-Man strength. It's like if he ever fought Spidey would definitely win still. So Kraven pretty much, after he visits his brother, who is known for able to copy voices, and they said, oh yes, my son, he's like a chameleon. And I'm like, son of a bitch, they have the chameleon in this. And that son of a bitch, I'm sorry, that is rude to dogs. I love dogs, but it is very much that sense of like, oh, okay, like, I'm like, oh shit, there's the chameleon's in this? You have Kraven, you have the chameleon who's his brother. I love that shit. Then you have the Rhino, and then they also hint at Miles Warren, who, if you don't know who Miles Warren is, he's the Jackal. And if you don't know who the Jackal is, he's the reason why Ben Reilly is a thing, and why the Clone Saga for Spider-Man is a thing. For some reason, they keep bringing him back, which, hey, I don't mind. I like Ben Reilly, and also on that same note too, I like the idea that Ben Reilly was the actual Peter Parker, and the other Peter Parker was going to retire, and Ben Reilly was going to take over. That honestly would have been a kind of a cool thing. But anyways, but Miles Warren apparently is what gave Rhino his like ability to turn into a rhino, like the hardened skin and all this stuff, and eventually, like, because there is kind of a through line with all of these movies a little bit. The only one that's the outlier is probably Venom, and that's it. Everything else, it's like very much, how do we give these, like, every human gains a power some way. Morbius gains his powers through genetics with bats to try to cure his disease. Madam Web is through the spider bite that her mother gave, and eventually everything else, so that she gains her abilities, and she has spider abilities. It's just in the sense of she has that was another thing I really liked about that movie. At least it was like stuff like she has the ability. She doesn't have the climbing up webs. She doesn't have all that stuff, but she has her spider sense, which allows her to see the future. Like she has the best spider sense. And then there's also another guy called the Foreigner. I don't know what the hell his thing was. It was like, I think like if you make eye contact with him, he like manipulated your time? I think? Hold on, what is this? Sorry, apparently there's a post-credit scene for the Sonic. Anyways, I'm sorry. But it's very interesting. Like each character got their own abilities every way. This guy gains powers through voodoo and the blood of a lion. Like, it's very much a lot of like mixing humans with an animal at some point. Like, wouldn't surprise me if Scorpion has some kind of merging with Scorpion power, stuff like that. If anything, actually, Venom might actually kind of fit that a little bit. If they were hinting at it in Last Dance, because they were hinting at Last Dance, it seemed like each of those symbiotes that had like a special power, one of them had fire, one of them had so on. Like, the reason they had those powers was probably because of a host they had beforehand. So this could be setting up something along those lines of like, yeah, like obviously Peter gets his powers, again, spider bite, whether it be magical, technological, whatever. And then eventually Venom would absorb some of that and then eventually bring it back to Eddie, and that's what would give Eddie his spider as well as webbing. But yeah, so like there's a thing about gene splicing and all this other stuff. I'm sure Miles Warren would be. The Daily Bugle plays a part in this too with like certain things that they read off of it. So, but goddamn, but yeah. So pretty much once the brother gets kidnapped, it's very much Kraven hunting down these guys, trying to get as many leads as possible to try to find his brother to save him. And there's like, throughout all this, there's a shit ton of cool action scenes. There's traveling all around the world. There's like the cool abilities where like when he sees things like, and he'll zoom in with like his like vision, his heightened senses and all that stuff. Honestly, this is what the Assassin's Creed movie should have been. Like legitimately, this is what the Assassin's Creed movie should have been. Like there's points where he's just parkouring up buildings and all this stuff. He's using eagle vision type of stuff. Like this is honestly what Assassin's Creed should have been. If you're gonna do Assassin's Creed in modern day, this was it. This was you're supposed to do it. And that's the thing too. Because again, this movie I think has a lesser rating than Madam Web. Does not deserve that shit. Holy shit, it doesn't. But this deserves it in the same way like Venom is like, is it the greatest movie? Probably not, but by God, is it not a badass fun movie? This is a fun movie. And the thing is, too, like, there's really good comedy in it, too. Like, a point where, like, the bad guys are feeling like, we have the film that we killed the hunter. And then Kraven comes behind and looks at the video like, huh? And he's like, what the? Like, some Looney Tunes shit like that. It's so good. God, the fights, again, are so freaking badass when he does, like, go, like, full, like, lion on their ass. And again, certain stuff with powers, again, like, he has the strength of this big-ass lion. Also, I love the whole thing, like how much, like, animals respect him when they look in his eyes and stuff like that. I love that shit. But, like, he has the strength of this big-ass lion, which I'm like, yeah, I could 100% see this dude having the strength of this lion for how beefy this dude is. But, again, it's not going to be proportional to that of a spider. So what, a spider can hold 10 times their own weight. So whatever Peter is, like 10 times that. So actually, wait, what is it? What is a proportional weight of a spider? Actually, hold on. Proportional weight of a spider. 100 times its own weight. 100 times its own weight. So okay. So let's assume Peter is 250. So 250 times 100. Well, yeah, it's no shit. That's how many pounds Peter can lift. And that's assuming Peter is 250. If he's 300, whatever. But that's a lot of goddamn weight. I'm sure this guy's strong. He's not that strong. But, and again, that's also depending on, it might be even more. But, yeah, that being said. Oh, God. His power, hunting, all that stuff, it's really kind of cool. It's cool seeing him fight, because that's the thing, too. He is strong, but he's not ridiculously strong. He is still ridiculously strong. But, when he gets into a fight, you still feel like he is fighting in it. It's not just he's immortal. Again, Spider-Man, I love Spidey. Don't get me wrong. He's my favorite superhero. But, it is punch, whoop, whoop, dodge. It is very much dodging back and forth. Kraven is fast, but he is doom, 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 doom. And then there's also the character of the Foreigner, which he has ability where if he sees you, if you look in his eyes, it's time slows down for 3 seconds, something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure what his powers are. That was the one thing I was I don't know. But that's the thing. But that's the thing about this too. I can watch Fantastic Fan Four Stick. I can watch Madam Web. I can watch Morbius, and I'd be like, okay, I can see where this is bad. I can see where this is bad. I can see where there's good ideas, but I can also see where this is bad. 90% of the time, if it's a movie that you're stuck inside of a building, a superhero movie that you're stuck inside of a dark gray blue building for most of it, it's probably going to be a bad movie. Madam Web was just dark all around, but there were some really good scenes in that. Morbius, I'm pretty sure that one was a lot of indoor, in-building stuff, if I remember correctly. There was some outside, but a lot of it was just, inside dark. Fan Four Stick, that's just a shit movie. They messed up a Stan Lee cameo. How do you do that? But, Kraven? There's, you have scenes in Russia, you have scenes in, I think Malta, I don't know. Places, all different scopes, London, all this stuff. And eventually, you have, these cool setup and build. There's a lot of action, a lot of fights, a lot of him trying to hunt down these guys for to get his brother back. Him feeling sorry that he left his brother behind. And there's also a whole thing where, he, protects nature. These poachers that were trying to kill, wildebeest, stuff like that. Even though, at one point, the wildebeest were all kind of killed. I'm okay, I'm going to go ahead and assume those wildebeest were dead beforehand. And also, before he could actually get there. But also on that same note, too, you can have him fighting some dude on a car in the middle of London, crashing and shit. And it's okay because he's not really a hero, he's a villain. That's the same thing, it's okay to see Venom eat someone's head off because he's not necessarily the archetype hero. But, yeah, I don't know. In either case, this movie's really good, and it's honest. And the thing is, at the very end of the movie, when they do get the brother back, there's some really cool fight scenes. Rhino gets Mufasa, which also Rhino seemed oh, he has so tough skin. How are we gonna kill him? And then he has the little port where he has where he gets his drugs from. I'm oh, that makes sense. All right, I completely missed that. I was gonna maybe mouth or eyes. I'm oh, that actually makes a lot of freaking sense. God damn it, that's really it. Him with Calypso was actually pretty fun. I like their little bit of chemistry they have there. But God, it's so good. And it sucks that this is the last movie of the Sonyverse. Because, like The Mummy, it sets up a lot of things that I really like. Because at the very end, spoilers for that, at the very end of the movie, Kraven's brother, Dimitri, he says that he found Miles Warren and that he got, something done to him to make him stronger and better. And he takes over his dad's business after Kraven gets him killed. And and you see him go full chameleon where he can change his face now whenever he wants. And he even tells Kraven, you're not a good man. You just count down for the bigger sport. Every time, just a bigger thing. That's all you want. That's all you need. You're just like our dad. And stuff shit like that. I'm all right, fine, whatever. I like this movie so much. Legitimately go watch this movie. This is a really, really good movie. This movie is fun, has action in it. It's really great. And also, it baffles the shit out of me that they made this rated R, but they didn't make Venom rated R. That really baffles the shit out of me. I'm hoping this movie does well. The rated R might be bad on it, but I'm hoping this movie does well. Because if this movie does well, because that's the thing too, that's also baffles me with the Sonyverse stuff, is like, Venom was a hit. Venom 3, let's say it was a hit. Like, especially with its budget, it was a hit. Make more! Just do it like this. Do it like this. Do it like Venom. Like, Madam Web, you should have known that actress couldn't carry that damn film. You should have known that. Morbius, why Jared Leto? What blackmail does Jared Leto have that he's now that he started in Morbius and then also is now in the new Tron movie, which I'm like, God damn it, he's the lead of it too. I'm like, God damn it, stop. Why are you in these? He was the Joker, that very shitty Joker, to the point where the Teen Titans Go made fun of him. Stop! Anyways. Also, I'm pretty sure, I ain't gonna lie, maybe this was gonna be like the post-credit scene or whatever of Kraven with like, the torch or something. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. And again, like the whole thing with the spiders, when he gets hit with the dart and sees all the spiders and everything. I'm like, all right, yeah, so like they're setting up again for like I hate spiders, something like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and maybe assume this is probably gonna tie in with like Madam Web, of like this is probably like the pool where those spider people were or something. I don't know. In any case, I like this movie a lot. Go watch it. Out of the Venomverse movies, which I love all three of those, this is definitely one of the ones that I would really want to keep coming back to, because by God, it's so good. I want to go see it again, honestly. This is really, really good. Anyways, tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Share videos. Hopefully enjoy this. I love this movie. Go watch it. It's so damn good. It's so damn good. Thanks for watching, and we will see you later. God, it's so good. Like, legitimately, go watch it. It's so fun. I don't know why whenever you put Russell Crowe in a movie, it kills the universe. Why is this a common thing for him?